This is one of my favorite cars on the market right now. It's a BMW G80 M3 in Isle of Man green. This is the competition model. It's not X-Drive, so it's right in the mid-range because you can get a manual transmission with 473 horsepower. You can get the competition with 503 horsepower, and then you can get the X-Drive with 523 horsepower. They've changed the tune on the X-Drive version to get a little bit more power, probably because it has four-wheel drive and it can handle it. Now, when this initially came out, this was a big problem for a lot of people who are never going to buy the car. That's always the problem. New car comes out, and there's a bunch of hate and comments from people that are never going to buy it. These things are incredibly popular, and the residual value on them is excellent because they're so popular with people that it's going to take years for them to fall, whereas unlike the Model 3 Performance over there, that's going to fall a lot quicker because there's not that many variations of it. Whereas this, there's a ton of colors, there's different trim levels, and that's what keeps drivers coming back. So I actually think the front end has really grown on me. BMW is so good at making cars that at first look terrible, and then over time you just begin to really like it. And the other thing that they've done with this model specifically or the lines on it remind me of the E46 M3 because you have a little bit more rigidity back here that you kind of lost with previous models of the BMW M3. Now the F80 M3, hey, great work. And again, those things, a good spec on those, a nicely done model, is still $50,000 or $60,000. So they hold their value incredibly well. So I wanted to do a review on this. I'm going to do a drive of it as well to see if it's worth the money. This is an $5,000 car the way it's spec'd. What I do like though is the colors on them. This is a $650 option for Isle of Man green. I think it was free at one point earlier on in the life cycle of this vehicle. But overall, they do a nice job pricing their colors. This has a valved exhaust. So if you want to listen to the exhaust, let's take a listen right now. First, the valves will be closed, and then we'll open them up. The other thing we need to talk about is practicality. So I'm 6 feet tall. That's my driver position up front. I want to show you kind of what it looks like in the back for an adult to be back here. So you have a decent amount of space. You have decent visibility out. Because of the carbon fiber roof, there's no sunroof, which is fine. And then you have your lights in the rear here as well. Harman Kardon sound system. I haven't used it yet, so we'll do that on the test drive. But I also really like the Alcantara trim along these seats. There's a bunch of different options you can get for interior colors. Just really like the way that you can customize these things and make them yours. And that's also a reason that I think these things hold their value so well, not only because it's such a popular car, it has great lineage, but also because the customization of them is really unique. Now onto the front of it, in the 2025s, they upgraded a few things. Power was one of them. The steering wheel was the other. So you can see it has a nice flat bottom steering wheel now. And trust me, this girl is thick. You can't get, look at this too. The display actually shows your vehicle, which was cool. So that was nice on the startup screen, but this, I mean, you can't get your hands around her. And also down here, this nice like aluminum, it's not aluminum, it's actually plastic, but it's just a nice looking steering wheel. And I'm also excited that it does not have carbon fiber on it. This is their aluminum rhombusol anthracite cover here. I just think there's so much carbon fiber on these things. It's not making a difference. And I just wanted to see something different. So that's cool to see. The transmission is interesting. I'll show you how we shift that in a minute. And then we have this fully digital display. You can see it says 401 miles of range. We have basically a full tank of gas. Earlier it said 440 when I picked it up, but it was idling for a little bit. We do have paddle shifters, and then these M1 and M2 buttons can be tuned. So you can make M1 the fully aggressive mode, and then you can make M2 fully comfort mode, or you can make them a mix of both for whatever driving you plan on doing. But overall, in the front here, it does have heated seats. It doesn't have cooled seats. For an $80,000 car, Give me the cooled seats. I just think that that's kind of ridiculous. But I like that it has a carbon fiber roof and a closed off area here, so there's nothing coming through. And overall, the seats are very comfortable. You do have bolster control here, so you can adjust the width of the side bolstering, and then you have your other traditional switches. So I think that that is all nice. And also I rented this through Turo. So if you scan the QR code on your screen, you can download Turo, and then you can skip the rental counter and pick exactly what car you want to drive. So this is very cool. So we're going to take it for a drive now and test it out. So when I first got in this thing, first of all, to start it, you press that button right there, foot on the brake. And it's interesting, when you put it into reverse, you actually shift it and the shifter stays here. Whereas a lot of times these types of shifters, you like bump them up and then it goes into gear. So then if you want to put it in drive, you tap it over and now it's in drive. And if you tap it over again, it puts it into manual mode, so you can actually shift the car with the paddle shifters, and now it's just in automatic mode again. So a little confusing at first getting it in gear, because I've never driven one of these. I'm really excited to be able to drive one. So one thing I've learned in the short time that I've driven this BMW M3 is I don't think I would get an M3, a G80 M3, unless it was X-Drive, because the rear-wheel drive, it can't put the power down. Traction's constantly kicking in. Now, if you are going to be taking this to the track, or if you get it in a manual transmission, I could see you wanting rear-wheel drive because that's a little more lively and fun. But if you're getting the automatic, you probably want X-Drive. And then if you happen to be in a snowy area, this can be your all-in-one vehicle. The suspension on it, I'm kind of surprised. I guess my overall with this vehicle is I love how it looks, right? I love how the vehicle looks. I like the presence it has, but it's not for what it costs. I mean, a lot of these that are sitting in dealerships are $100,000. I would rather have a Golf R. Get the Golf R with an Akrapovic exhaust. It's half the price and it's still very fun. It's still quick, it's still fast. This has so much power, it can't even put it down in rear-wheel drive. And then it costs a ton. And the suspension, it's pretty loud and rough in this thing. This is a luxury sports sedan. It is luxurious. The materials they use are nice. But, I mean, over a Golf R, over a Model 3 Performance, if you want to go electric, I gotta say I am slightly let down by it. You know, they say never meet your heroes. I mean, this is the M2. I owned an F87 M2. I think it was F87. Anyways, it had the N55 motor. It was a 2018, and it was the LCI update. Those are still, like, I bought mine for 46 with 9,000 miles on it. It was perfect shape. I would get an M2 over this any day. I would get the new M2. I would get the old M2. That's the one to go with. This M3, it's, I don't know. It's pretty rough on the inside. Like, if I want it to be rough, I'm going with the M2, and then I can accept that it's a sports coupe. But this, it feels far less sophisticated than I thought it would have been. The ride now, where it's 45 miles per hour now, it's fine. It has a decent sound system. The infotainment, there's a lot going on there. I like the car. I just don't love it like I thought I would. And that's just kind of what the letdown is. All right, so we're gonna do a little acceleration pull here. Merging on, see how it is. Traction kicking in. Yeah, this thing is fast. My goodness. So I will say, you know, once you're at speed and you're not... Okay, I'm coming around on this thing. Oh my God. All right, yeah. All right, I retract some of my statements. This thing is very fun at highway speed. My goodness. Not only do you have just, it feels like you could just drive it to 200 miles per hour. It is so smooth. And that's with a lot of German cars for the Autobahn and all that stuff. They feel so good when you're going fast. And like, you can cruise at 100 miles per hour in this thing, and you're really not going to know if you're going 100 or if you're going 60. And when you're going 60, you feel like you're going 30. Yeah, incredibly smooth. Now the suspension, this is a really nice highway, feels fine. You can still tell it is stiff. Let's see where we're currently at. Yeah, I put the suspension in comfort and everything else is in aggressive mode, or sport plus. But Yeah, it makes sense when you're going at a lot higher speeds, but at those lower speeds, this is a rough car. Cruising on the highway though, this thing is great. Cabin noise on, on this road is fine, but if you get on some of those like more rural interstates or rougher roads, it's going to be pretty loud. So just, I guess it depends on where you live. But yeah, I don't know. I love the steering wheel. I love how it looks, has a decent feel on the interior. I just think it costs so much, and there's things at much lower price points that are just more fun. You're going to be happier with long term, unless you need a 4-door sedan and you want to have the performance. But in that case, I think the BMW M340i or M340 xDrive is probably what's going to be the better car. It has still, I think, around 400 horsepower. You can get it in all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. This is just, this has presence to it on the road, and people are going to look because it's a BMW M3. So I think that carries a lot of weight too. And I don't deny people, I get it. So yeah, very, very happy I got to drive and experience the BMW M3, the G80 M3. It's a very controversial vehicle. Ultimately, they've done a really nice job with it. I don't know really what I was expecting. I think I just liked it so much that I expected more. Whereas something like a GR Corolla, it's got this 3-cylinder, it's a manual transmission, you're hearing all these noises. Then you go up to the Golf R, which is a GR Corolla, but more luxurious, has a great exhaust tone to it, but has luxury features. The Golf R actually has a better infotainment than this BMW does. So, man, it's a really tough one. It's a good vehicle, but I don't know that it's worth the money brand new. I would definitely look to the used market for this. Get a nice used one. I would prefer xDrive over rear-wheel drive, and I would be interested to drive the manual transmission as well to see if that changes more the how you can engage and interact with the vehicle. Now, I drove the Golf R, and the one that I drove had the Akrapovic exhaust, which we haven't gotten here in the US ever. It's a titanium exhaust. Click this video, check it out, it's awesome.